Look at you, stuck in the web of procrastination and lacking discipline. It's time to admit that you've been avoiding responsibilities and it's holding you back. Stop sugarcoating your failures with these flimsy excuses. You know very well that laziness and distractions have been ruling your life. You've become complacent with mediocrity, choosing comfort over growth. Well, guess what? Real change demands discomfort, and you must embrace it. Recognize your lack of discipline has cost you precious opportunities. The time wasted cannot be recovered, but you can make amends starting right now. Deep down, you know you have untapped potential. It's time to unleash it and stop hiding behind your procrastination as an excuse. Procrastination is often the result of fear. Fear of failure, fear of success, fear of the unknown. It's time to confront these fears and break free. Sure, discipline might seem like a foreign concept to you right now, but it takes time to face the music and make discipline your new best friend. You've been avoiding accountability, but it's time to take responsibility for your actions. Hold yourself accountable for your progress, or the lack thereof. Feel the weight of regret for all the time wasted and opportunities missed. Let it fuel your determination to change and make the most of every moment moving forward. Change won't happen overnight, and it won't be easy, but you're not looking for easy. You are looking for growth. Embrace the process, and you'll come out stronger. Oh, look at you, drowning in the sea of indecision and inaction. Your inability to make choices or stick to a plan is pathetic. Stop trying to cover up your laziness with those pathetic excuses. Nobody buys them, not even yourself. Just think about all the potential you've wasted by wallowing in your lack of discipline. It's truly, truly sickening. You're nothing more than a slave to comfort and instant gratification. You can't even withstand the slightest bit of discomfort to achieve your goals. Your willpower is laughable, and your mind is even weaker. It's time to toughen up, Buttercup, and take control. While you're busy procrastinating, the world just keeps moving forward. Your lack of discipline is causing you to fall way behind. You've become a master of self-sabotage, always finding ways to hinder your progress. It's time to break free from this vicious cycle. Congratulations, you've built a cozy nest in the land of mediocrity. How does it feel to be just average? Or maybe below average? Way below average. You don't need coddling. You need a reality check. Stop babying yourself and face the truth. You are weak. Enough is enough. Rise from the ashes of your weaknesses and become the disciplined, proactive force you know that you can be. Or don't, and stay exactly as you are.
Ray, what do you want to do tonight?
The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
You might think that getting into the IT field is impossible without a computer science degree, but Tech Coach Ralph is here to prove you wrong. Get ready for some jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into this lucrative industry. Listen up, tech enthusiasts! Are you ready to break through into the IT field, but feel like you need a computer science degree to make it happen? Think again! Tech Coach Ralph has some exclusive, mind-blowing secrets to share with you. Get ready to be blown away by his jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into the tech industry without a computer science degree. So get your notepad ready, because Tech Coach Ralph is going to change your life forever. Buckle up, because you're about to embark on a journey to success in the IT field.
It's time!
Welcome to the show tonight on this beautiful Thursday night, September 7th, 2023, where we are back at it again. I am your host, Tech Coach Ralph, and tonight we are going to go back into some software explorations targeted around performance testing. And we are going to look at JMeter one more time. Not crazy about it, but the industry standard tool. And then we are also going to be looking at what my friend sent me. He sent me a repo on GitHub that he has where something about it's called Deuce's JMeter, so it already sounds intriguing. All right, and then the most important part of the show tonight, my friend, my mentee, Stephanie, I'm going to call her, and we're going to go over a little coding challenge I gave her, right? Where I asked her to, I wrote this code a few months ago on a stream where I wanted to set up a data provider. So I just did like straight automation code inside it, like everything was inside one test class. And then I asked her to refactor it into the page object model. So I'm gonna call her, and she's gonna come on the line, and we're gonna walk through her changes on why she did what she did, and I'll give her some feedback, and so we can there's something new, right? So she's already in the chat. All right, I'll let her know when I'm gonna call her. It's gonna be towards the end of the show, right? And we're gonna have some fun because for anyone who has ever said that tech is boring, they are not doing tech right, and they are not doing tech with Tech Coach Ralph. All right. So that is the lineup for tonight. But of course, we have to get into our agenda. All right. So let's get to the agenda, and then we'll go from there. Okay. So as I said, software explorations tonight. We're going on performance testing, load testing with JMeter, and I forgot K6, and we're gonna look at my friend's repo. Right? Copyleft dev is his GitHub name. And we're going to go into that. All right. But before we do that, first and foremost, like we always do, shout out to all the newest subscribers. So I got 3 that I want to announce. There's plenty more. Like it's just going like crazy. But the ones that I can actually see, I always love to shout you out because you guys are so valuable. Right? But before I get to that, remember, become a tech barbarian and win with us. All right. Because I have some crazy strategies that guess what? You can ask Stephanie for herself. Stephanie, if you hear me right now, do my strategies work? Let me know what you think. Because maybe I'm wrong, right? But you've been working with me for probably over a month now, I think. Do my strategies work? Let them know. All right. We're gonna talk about it some more when I call you. But maybe they don't believe me, but maybe they'll believe you. All right. But new subscribers, shout out to
I appreciate you.
Amar Sa. Shout out to It's coming. Patience.
I appreciate you.
Ivan the procrastinator. Ivan, we are going to have to let go of that procrastination and start getting stuff done. All right, Ivan. But welcome to the channel. You have come to the right place if you are a procrastinator.
I appreciate you.
Shout out to Jabez Daily. Welcome to the channel. I hope to add value into all of your lives, and I hope to everyone that I ever come in contact with. I hope to add tons of value into your life, and you add value into my life, all right? Because I'm always strategizing. How can I offer more to you, and how can I make it a better learning experience, a better experience overall? All right. So, so that's that. Shout out to all the new subscribers. We are growing so fast, and we are going to go to the moon. We're going to win. There is nothing standing in our way, because if there was, we're just going to trample it over, and we're going to keep going because we do not take any prisoners. All right. So, let me address the chat real quick because my friend is here. Shout out to you, Don Johnson. Is it hard being Ralph? Is the question. Make it a little smaller. Hold on. I had to blow it up last time because there was a very important comment on the screen. Last time, the last comment from the show on Tuesday said, right? If it wasn't for you, I would have not gotten this job. All right. So take it for what it's worth. All right. So Don says, is it hard being Ralph? It depends, right? How am I doing tonight, right? I'm tired, right? I am tired. Today was a scrum day, and it was like half the day planning with the team. Had meetings, and woke up at like 4 o'clock in the morning, getting some stuff ready, preparing some videos. Had to go teach a class this morning in jiu-jitsu, and then just working all day. But guess what? I don't know if it's hard being Ralph, but I love being Ralph because if there was because I'll tell you a quick story, right? So at the end of the class yesterday, my professor's talking about you guys can't be. You guys have to be like respectful to one another. Like, don't do any like cheap moves and stuff like that. And and that's totally true. But I was thinking for myself, oh man, I love when people do that to me. I don't know. It just wakes me up. It gives me strength. I don't know. Maybe I love suffering. Maybe I thrive in chaos. I don't know. Shout out to Chaos Camp, right? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I love chaos. Maybe I love to suffer because I get so much value out of that. So I don't know. Is it hard being Ralph? I don't know. But would I want to be anybody else? Absolutely not. Maybe Ralph with like $100 million or $1 billion. I'll take that, but don't want to be any other person. All right. And now, oh, look at that. My friend is in the chat, and Stephanie says, I had zero interviews before we started working together. Today alone, I had 3. I don't know. Maybe it works. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe I have strategies. Maybe I don't. But 2 people have said it for themselves. All right. And we have Don again says, we can try to create Ralph AI. People have asked for my clone. I'll tell you this. Stephanie's going to be one of my clones. Right, Stephanie? Ralph AI on the roadmap. Okay. I like it. I like it. All right. So let's continue with the agenda so we can get to the show because we got stuff to do. All right. Enough fun. All right. Let's be boring because tech is boring apparently, right? So right, Don, tech is boring. All the cool stuff that we're working on, tech is boring. So the show schedule, right? Live shows. Thursday night, like tonight, right? 7:15 p.m. Software explorations. We are doing performance testing tonight. Some more performance testing. Then we have Sundays. We have more software explorations and let me announce this right now. This Sunday we are going to be working on Terraform, where we can set up like its infrastructure as code. I have to schedule the stream, put the thumbnail up and everything, but that's what we're going to be doing for the next few weeks, right? It's about a 11-hour course. So what I'm doing is I'm going through the course, watching the videos, and I'm extracting the the projects, the stuff that you need to do to practice, right? So this coming Sunday, we are going to be installing Terraform. We're going to be creating it on AWS, right? Like we're going to be setting up an instance, a T2 micro instance on AWS, because I'll tell you this, right? In QA, you become more valuable if you know how to do other things. Because now what I'm going to be able to do, I'm going to be able to create an instance through Terraform, through code, right? Have it checked into the repository. I'm going to have you guys show you guys like why you should set up your why you should use version control, right, for your Terraform, which you should do it for everything, right? So I'm going to show you how to do that. And then so that way, like as a QA engineer, you can go ahead and create an instance or instances, whatever, install the Selenium grid on it, and have your test run that way. So you don't have to log into AWS and do all that stuff, right? So and then you can also do it on Azure, you can do it on Google Cloud Platform, whatever, right? So that's why we're transitioning into DevOps, specifically Terraform for this instance, right? And then after we're done with Terraform, because that's a shorter course, then we're gonna go way in depth into DevOps, like with Ansible and all that stuff, right? So that's what we're working on, all right? We don't take any prisoners, because if my barbarians know how to do DevOps and Terraform and all that type of stuff, and you don't, right? Now we end up in the interview and we're like, well, we do this, and this, but we also do this, that, and the other. And you're like, I know the page object model. That's cool, but who's going to provide more value, right? So that's where we're going. All right. Join us for the ride. Sunday, 2:15 p.m. Software explorations, Terraform. All right. We're going to do the first part of Terraform. And then we have Tuesday's Q&A show. We had so much fun in that Q&A show the other day. This past Tuesday, check it out if you haven't, but Tuesdays, 7:15 p.m. So once again, Sunday afternoons, software explorations. We're going to Terraform. Tuesday nights, Q&A session, right? Where I answer your questions. I find questions on the web, answer those for you. And then we have Thursday nights, some more software explorations. Okay, so we're getting after it. We are getting after it. All right. Now, shout out to that first, right? Because that alone, the live shows alone, so much value, so much content where you can follow along, you can play it back. And you know what? Before I go on, right? I got an email. I got to find the email because it was from an older video that I did. One of my early videos where I was working on Selenium Wire, right? Trying to get that to work on a proxy and everything like that, which, of course, we got it to work. Because, good guy, we do not lose, we do not miss, right?
The only thing I'm addicted to right now is winning.
It's all we do is win. All right. I got to get that soundbite. All we do is win. So, but I got the email and the person was saying that I think they were from Taiwan, to be honest with you, right? And they were saying, oh, I was trying to follow along and I got most of the things done, but for some reason it's not working, right? So what we're going to do as well is I'm going to review that. And if I have to revisit Selenium Wire to help this person out, then we're going to do it on the show. I'm definitely going to reply to him, give him some feedback, but we're also going to troubleshoot on the show to see what's going on. And you know what? I'll email him and I'll say, hey, can you push your code to GitHub? And then maybe I can pull in his code and I can see what's going on, see why it's not working for him, you know, because it's a learning opportunity for me, a learning opportunity for you, a learning opportunity for the person who sent me the email, right? So that's what we do. We look for opportunities to learn, to grow, and we go from there. And I almost forgot this. This is very, very important. On Sunday, in our first half, I'm a time box it to half an hour, right? Put the timer for half an hour. And once we get to half hour, we're going to stop. But we have a coding challenge presented by yours truly, Don Johnson. Right? So we're going to work on that coding challenge. I've read what the ask is, but I haven't even looked into it to do it or anything like that. But I have a pretty good idea what direction to go with it. But we're gonna find out because after 30 minutes, however far we get is however far we get. All right. So So Sundays we're gonna have like the first 30 minutes are gonna be allocated to coding challenges, right? And we're gonna go and we're gonna do that. So Don, keep sending them in, and we'll knock them out, right? And then we're gonna go into our Terraform, a good icebreaker, because I believe that every single day, right, you should be practicing code, refining your mind, getting better, right? Because you got to practice. I always say you got to practice. And if you do not practice, you're going to lose it, right? Always work your mind. All right. So that's going to be Sunday, first 30 minutes, coding challenge provided by yours truly, Don Johnson, right? And then we're going to work Terraform, and, we'll go from there. So that's what we're doing this weekend. Okay. Yeah. So that's that. Now, pre-recorded show content. All right. We have Mondays. All times are at noon Eastern Standard Time. Mondays, Candid Conversations. All right. Where we have real talk. It's been pretty intense the past few weeks because based on what I see and based on what I believe you need to know. And the one from this past week, it was got a lot of traction because a lot of people are wondering these things and they're trying to figure it out. And I'm just providing you my insight, and hopefully I'm able to help. So that's that. We have Mondays, Candid Conversations. Wednesdays, we have Software Explorations, where we break down concept and overviews, where I provide you a presentation on why things work the way that they do. And like I said, if you are a Patreon member, I will make all of those presentations available for you, where you can download a copy of it. You can modify it. Let's say you have to present something at work, right? Let's say you have to present something at work, or maybe in your boot camp or something, and you're like, I'm not sure how to do it. Take my presentation. You can get that for as low as $10 a month. Access to all my presentations. Just about every week I come out with a new presentation. You get access to all my templates that I use, like how I create my test case templates, how I create my defect reporting templates, right? All the stuff that I use, you can have access to that, right? Maybe you have access to maybe I'll private some repositories where maybe I have a test automation framework in there, and maybe I'll make that available to you. I don't know, right? I don't know what I'm going to put in the Patreon. Ask Stephanie, like on the fly, I came up with an idea and boom, now we're running with it. You're along with the coaching service that you're buying, right? You're also buying my mind and all the crazy things that I come up with that goes through it. All right. So remember that. So that's shameless plug in there, but that's part of the software explorations. I think those presentations, those slides are worth gold alone. And you can get that for $10 a month. All right. So whatever. Anyways, let's move on. And then we have on Friday, one of my favorites, the bug bite. The bug bite, right? And where we go ahead and review different bugs that affected us. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about the Mariner 1 that from 1962, where it has a self-destruct. So we're going to be reviewing that. If you're into outer space and stuff like that, I think that's a pretty cool one. If you like NASA, that's a pretty cool one. So check that out. One more time. Mondays, Candid Conversations. Wednesdays, Software Explorations, Concept and Overviews. And Fridays, the Bug Bite. All right. Shout out to that. And then Monday through Friday, I release a clip from our live Q&A show where, because sometimes you might not want to sit there with me, with Don, with Good Guy, with Stephanie when she's able to make it. But I tell Stephanie, don't really come to the Tuesday night shows. I need you to be working, keep grinding, keep working. And, but like me, Don, Good Guy, we can hang out, and talk and have some fun. But Stephanie, you keep working right now. All right. And, yeah, so every Monday through Friday, I release a clip from that might be able to help you because maybe you want a bite-sized piece. Maybe you need specific information, right? And those do pretty good too. So check those out, and we'll go from there. So shout out to all of that. Tell me, have you ever gotten content this good before? The only day that I don't really release content is on Saturdays. And guess what? I'm upset about that. That bothers me that I don't have content on Saturdays for you guys. So maybe that'll change. I don't know. Because I have some projects that I need to work on that maybe you can follow along with me and see how I do it. Maybe I have to create a WordPress site where for a friend where you can see me go and get the template that I'm going to use, install WordPress, go through my admin section of where I would install WordPress, how I install the template, all that good stuff. Maybe I'll do that. I don't know. If you're interested in seeing that, let me know in the chat, Let me know in the chat. So maybe I'll have something every day for you guys. Who knows? We shall see. Time will tell. All right. So let's see. Anything else? Let's find out. I think we are good to go. Actually, no. Before we go on, wait a second. Wait 1 second. Did you guys like the video yet? Did you subscribe to the channel? Did you hit the notification bell so you can be notified every single time I drop content? Because, hey, it's a lot of content, but you need it. If you want to be successful in tech, you need it. And then you can come in contact with all these cool people that I've come in contact with. All right? So, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, like the video, share the video with somebody who's going to find it useful. All right? Share it with your 5-year-old. Share it with them because, get them started early. All right? All right. That's what I'm talking about.
We the best.
Yes, we are. All right. So, show format, we're going to work for 20 minutes. We are going to take a 5-minute break where I don't know what I'm going to do during the break this time. If there's comments, I'll talk to the chat. If not, maybe I'll go on either LinkedIn or Glassdoor, see what's out there. I always like to see what's out there. Let me know what type of jobs to search for in the chat, because I search for QA all the time. I think I've already proved the point that manual QA jobs are not quite so easy to come across, especially entry level. Right? So let me know what type of jobs you want me to look for, and we can do that research together. All right? So, or I might look for data. I might look for data engineering because one of my day one people they're going to be the best data engineer that ever walked the planet. Why is that? Because she is on the Tech Coach Ralph team. Alrighty, so let's get into it. All right, so when we last left off, we were struggling through JMeter. When I say struggling, I mean struggling, right? But it is what it is because that's why we're here. That's why this show is called Software Explorations, because we figure it out together. And in the chat last time, I cannot tell you how much I appreciate working with Stephanie, because
I appreciate you.
she saw me like falling over and all this stuff, and she goes, "Hey, can I send you my my JMeter test?" And she sent it over through our Slack group, and I opened it up, and I'm like, "Okay, cool, that works." And then I tried to modify it to get my own to work, and then failed again. But then Hassam showed up like Batman. And he was like, "Oh, do this, do that, do this," and did it, and worked pretty good. And then he was like, "But why are you using JMeter anyways?" He was like, "You need to get on the K6 train." I was like, "Oh, there's a K6 train. I didn't even know about that." So like I said, after we're done with the JMeter part, we're gonna check out. Don, can I say this is yours? Oops, too late. Well, I'm gonna check out Don's Deuce's JMeter repo and see how that works, and then we'll go from there. All right. So let's just get into it. All right, because enough talking. All right, enough talking. But first, as always,
Please offer me your energy. I ask of you, please.
all right. So okay, good. So, and before we start, let's check the chat. Tech Coach Ralph for the win. Shout out to Good Guy. Good Guy, where you been? Like, when are we gonna have our next call? I need to know what's going on with you. We spoke a while ago, and we had some plans, and I don't know. Just want to make sure you're still on track. All right. Looking forward to talking to you, Good Guy. And Don is excited about K6 baby. And Stephanie says, I'll be there. Looking forward to Sunday afternoon, where we're going to be. What are we going to be doing? We are going to be doing Terraform, starting with our coding challenge. So save the date. Tomorrow tomorrow morning, I'm going to schedule the live 2:15 p.m. Sunday afternoon. And Don says, it's not been tested. Well, Don, you know what that means. We're going to do it live. We are going to do it live. And Good Guy, the calendar link has not changed. Just throw some time on my calendar and we'll chat. All right. Same calendar link. It hasn't changed. All right. So throw some time on the calendar and we'll get together and we'll have a talk. All right. Okay. Enough of all of that. Let's look at JMeter. Let me make sure my cameras are working. Give me 1 second. Here, as I thought. All right. Got one down. One more camera to go. Perfect. Alrighty then. So let's do this. All right. So we are going to do. All right. So how are we going to start this today? We are going to. I don't think we need to. Okay. So we don't need to read the document, or we don't have to go to the main website. Let's go straight to. JMeter screen. All right. So let's see what we have. So I have JMeter opened up, and let me see. Did I save anything? I see here. Let's see. That would be inside of downloads, I believe. And then let's go to JMeter, or is it Apache JMeter? Just create a new one. All right, let's do a new one. All right, so what site should we go to? Let's go to. I want to go to. Go to Uber Eats. That was one of the first projects I did when I started the channel, where we automated Uber Eats in Java and in Python side by side. So let's stick to that. All right. So let's see. Small load test on Uber Eats. And after we're done with that, we will go to we're gonna go look at the Deuces JMeter, the untested Deuces JMeter. Don, you might be more of a developer than you are QA. I don't know. I don't know, Don. Let's see here. All right, so we have this. All right, and can we save that? Let's just save that here. Let's just save that here. And let's go to, so we got Uber Eats, and let's say Threads. I remember. Oh, that's not it. Let's see. This is why reading documentation is very important. But I'm going to skip the documentation and I'm just going to try to figure it out. Set up thread group, tear down thread group. So that reminds me of TestNG where they have the oh, I didn't even put my time up. Hold on. Let's put the time up. So we are going 20 minutes.
It's time to do.
All right. So let's see here. Let's go here. Threads. Let's do a thread group. All right. So number of users. Let's go with five users. Ramp up time. Let's go to 2 seconds. Loop time. Let's go to 10. Right. And let's do. So we did this last time, and then let's say 5 user thread group. All right. So now let's save that again. And now let's go here and say add. And any JMeter experts in the chat, by all means, do not be shy. Feel free to pitch in because I am not a JMeter expert. Like I always see that jobs for QA, they'll say, load testing, JMeter, all that type of stuff. But every job that I've had, I've never really had to run any load tests. It's always been like developers running the load tests and stuff like that. I don't know. So maybe I just missed out. But I don't really have FOMO about it. I just learned what FOMO meant earlier this like maybe 2 months ago. Maybe I'm just too old. All right, so let's say Uber connection. Uber Eats HTTP request. All right. And let me see. Server name. Let's go with ubereats.com. Let's say port 80. Or maybe does it still work on port 80? I just leave it like that, right? So let's do this. Let's just run it like this and see what happens, right? Let's start with this. Well, maybe I should add. Let's just do that. Let's just run it like this and then we'll come back to it. Ooh, shots fired. Shots fired. So Don, the other day when I was talking about a friend of mine was having Eclipse issues and the only way to solve it was by switching to IntelliJ. I will not confirm nor deny if that person is in the chat right now. Not going to confirm it nor deny it. All right. Can't even see what's so. All right, it's done, but we don't have any validation. So let's add an assertion and let's say response assertion. And let's say verify 200. It's my guess. And let's go with response code. And let's say matches. And where do I put the response code? Let's see. That's funny. All right. Where would I put it? Equals. Oh, okay. So it would be here. Let's say match. Let's try matches. Well, probably should be equals 200. All right. Let's try that. And let's see what happens. Because last time it was failing for us. All right. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. I see this is running. And all right. Oh, there's logs here. I like logs. So starting thread group 1 to 5, user thread group, thread will continue on error. Ah, okay. So all things started. Oh, okay. I remember now. Hassam had told me this. We need to add a what was it called again? It's a what was it called again? Is it here? It's a listener. The result tree. Do I put it on this though? Let me see. Listener. Let's try that. I remember. Okay.
The fact is that I don't remember.
Okay, fine. I don't remember. Okay. Let's try that. Okay, let's see here. And we shall try it again. I did not know there were logs. Ooh, look at that. We're getting 200s. We are getting 200s. Is there another listener? Let's add us a summary report. So let's just start adding a bunch of reports, right? Because, in QA, we just love reports. We love data. We love all that good stuff. So let's go to another listener. Let's do a let's see what else we can add. Backend. I wonder if the backend listener, I'm just curious about the backend listener, if you can, if that's like you can send the results to like an API thing. Possibly. Interesting. Let me remove that though, because we're not using that right now. I do not want to go that far into JMeter. Deuces JMeter. Coming soon. All right. Let's see here. Let's do another listener. Let's see what else we got in here. Save responses to a file. That's pretty cool. Bean shell listener. I want to see what aggregate report does. All right, let's try to. Let me see. I'm also wondering about like the structure, like where you place this stuff. Okay, so this is always gonna go in here. But the summary report can go on the outside? Is that what you're telling me? I can go on the inside too. Believe it or not, right? This is how I learned most of the stuff. Right? This is how I learned most of my stuff, just by playing around with it, right? And then once I had a decent understanding of myself, then I might go back and get some structured education around it, like through a Udemy course or something like that. Which I'm gonna get my affiliate link on Udemy. Watch. All right, so let's try this. All right, I'm just curious to see what happens. Let me see. Do I have to configure anything here? Got the results, aggregate report, and what's in the summary report? Let me throw on a graph because in QA we love graphs. Which reminds me, Don, have you tried Report Portal yet? Let me see. Let's do a graph result. All right, let's give it a try. All right, you guys ready? Let's go. I should ramp up the users as well. Probably do that. Let me go look at this over here. So I have a loop count of 10. Let's go with 20. Let's try that on the next run. hilarious. All right, so something is happening. By the way, this desk has a cup holder. Talking about bad design, right? Which we weren't talking about bad design, but I guess if we're using JMeter, we kind of are talking about bad design. But talking about bad design, right? Which kind of reminds me of the of the last week's the bug bite with World of Warcraft, and where it says when we said like to the death, talking about death. That I crack up every time I watch that video. Which I won't say that 90% of the views are just me, because I don't think so. But I did watch it a lot because I found it hilarious. All right. Anyhow, this desk, right? It has the cup holder all the way to the other side. I don't know if they expect people to be sitting like on one little corner of the desk or something like that, but it is all the way to the other side. So I'm gonna move it. I'm just gonna put it right next to me, right here, right here, in hands distance, because like my arms are pretty short. My legs are pretty short too, but yeah. Anyways, enough of that. So something happened. Not exact. Okay, so let's see what happened. So let's look at our results. Everything is green, just like QA likes to see. And have you guys like ever why are some QAs so excited when they find bugs? Good guy, if you're there, let me know. Like, why are some QAs so excited when they find bugs? Like, I it's like a badge of honor or something. For me, I don't want to find bugs. I want to ship. I want the code to go out to the customer so they can get that enhanced features and stuff like that, so the company can make money. I don't want to go back through the cycle of like, oh, now we got to fix a bug and got to go through rounds of testing. I like when software works, right? I mean, by all means, it's good to find bugs because you know we are preventing like bad code from being shipped, right? One of the I'll share this. I'll put this in my resources link, right? In the Patreon. But one of the videos that I like is from Robert C. Martin talking about software craftsmanship, and one of the principles of maybe I'll break it down one day, right? Like, or make a series of breaking it down where we analyze. Maybe we'll do that on live stream, right? Like maybe yeah, maybe we'll do that, right? But one of the principles is we don't ship shit, right? No, we don't like. We don't. So we have to, be the guardrail. But I like when software works. So, and that's why like I'll be encouraging to let's try to implement test driven development. Let's work together. Let's shift left. Let's work earlier with our developers so that we can preemptively catch errors and bugs and stuff like that. So that once they do it, we can try to get it as close to right as possible on the first attempt. So now we test it, we validate, everything is good, and all right, cool, everything is good, let's ship, right? Everything, it works. So that's how I see it. Maybe because I've been doing it for so long that I don't feel some type of great joy finding bugs and stuff like that. I want this. I find joy when I know that I can contribute to the team early on, so that we can we just create dope software, right? Like I love the work that I do because everyone works together in synchrony, and like just like working with the people that I work with, right? And we create amazing software. And like so I don't take any pride finding a bug, and then like if it's a tough bug to find, that's cool. But it's not like I take pride in it where it's like, oh, trying to make somebody look bad. Like I'm part of the team too. So if my teammates look bad, then I look bad. And if I look bad, my teammates look bad, because we're supposed to be supporting each other. So that's It's Patreon level mindset right there. But you know, while we're waiting for JMeter to get its act together, you know, we had a small candid conversation right there, right? Small candid conversation. So let's look at the reports, right? So we have aggregate report. Okay, so I'm guessing because the, you know, the definition of aggregate, like all the tests that you run is going to put them together and let you know like so this was a sample of samples 50, average, median. Very good. This is very cool information. Like if I wanted to actually understand it specifically, I would probably have to read the documentation or some type of performance testing information indicator of like, okay, what these numbers mean, and then how to measure the metrics, you know, like, you know, something like that. But, you know, just playing around with it, seeing what's going on. So summary report. Okay, so the summary report is so this is the individual. So summary is the individual report, and I'm guessing aggregate is going to have them all there together. Let's see. All right, and graph results. This is that's a graph. You know, I've seen like when messing with like data science and data engineering with Python, which I am going to go back to that machine learning course because it's crazy. I absolutely love machine learning and data science and data engineering and all that stuff, AI, all that stuff, right? But I just I couldn't really find the time or the capacity for it. But you know what? I'm going to make the time for it. All right, I'm going to create the time. I'm going to invent it. Because I have a formula, a mathematical equation on how to create time. All right. But that will be found in the Patreon. So, anyways, here we go. So I wish I just had like okay. Let's see what this is. I had a better looking graph, to be honest with you, because I'm not sure what this graph represents. But so let's try to run it again with our higher thread count. So we're going for 20 users. Let's say a ramp up period of like 4 seconds. And we will let's do a 15 count. Hopefully Uber Eats doesn't block me. Not that I use them anyways, but so I can live with that. All right, let's give it another run, see what happens. Hold on, what else is there? Well, before we do that, let's see what else we have in there. Config element, DNS cache manager. You know what would be really cool? If, let's say you could configure, which you might be able to do it, but if you can configure different like VPNs, so those VPNs could be accessing the site at different locations, right? And it can be like hitting the site. So let's say we would not do this on like an Uber Eat or like any site like that, because that's just malicious and we do not want to like try to hit them with a DDoS attack or whatever, right? But let's say we have our own application, right? And we so follow me here for a second, right? And you're gonna see where I'm going, right? So let's say we know Terraform, infrastructure as code, and we say I want to spin up 10 like let's say 10 AWS instances, right? 2 in each region, and I want to put I want to run load tests on them, right? But we're gonna run the load test via maybe the Deuces JMeter or a Gatling or something to that instance, right? And we're going to hit our application with 100 users from each location with a like 4 second ramp up and we do an infinite loop until we actually, depending on how like these applications work, like whether we're using Gatling, I'm not familiar with those yet, but I do want to check them out in the future because I want to do performance testing as code, right? Because if we can do infrastructure as code, we should be able to do performance testing as code, right? So we would take let's say a loop of 100, right? So 100 users, ramp up time 4 to 5 seconds, loop 100 times, right? And now when we push it all out, it goes in, it sets up the EC2 instances in those regions, and then this is in the pipeline, right? So it does Terraform where it sets up the infrastructure, and then it takes the load test and it goes and it distributes it to those AWS instances that were created. And so it's doing a load test where it's passing in 100 of 100
Launch break.
4 second.
Launch break.
4 second ramp up, and now you have a comprehensive load test that you coded. Sounds pretty interesting. But I just came up with that as I was like looking at this and said, "Oh, I wonder if they have the. I wonder if I could like do the proxy from different regions." Which let me see. I'm pretty sure you could do it somehow. Like I said, I am no JMeter expert, but before we go to our break, let's take a let's run it. All right, so we have it going. All right, so let's look at our results, and we have beautiful results. It's still going too. Let's see. And if we look at it, it tells you the thread name, user thread group. Put it on here. User thread group. Very cool. I like it. And I think it's still going too. Oh no, it's finished. It's just a lot of, all right, cool. The list keeps going. Let's see. All right, well, we see that it works, so cool enough. Response 301, 301, and then and then 200. All right, so 301, and then you eventually get the 200. So I think this is cool. Very, very cool. All right, so let's go to. All right, so that was fun. Very, very fun. Let's see. Let's take a look at the chat. And let's put 5 minutes up. And to me, let me know what you think, but I'm done with JMeter. There is nothing else for me to look at JMeter at this moment. So 5 minutes on the clock. Let's check the chat. So why are you not showing up? Hold on there. I don't know why it's not showing up. Oh, there it goes. It's Python to avoid JMeter. Thank God for that. It's not a JMeter script. Cool. Well, guess what, Don? We are done with JMeter. We are moving on. JMeter is the eclipse of load testing. Shots fired. Any other sound I have for this one? Let's see. Nope. That's good. All right. And then what else do we have? It's cool. It's not your fault. I'm guessing that is for the Eclipsians. in this chat that I was in, this guy was like using Eclipse, and I was like, why don't you use IntelliJ? And he's like, because the class uses Eclipse. So based on that, actually, let me address that, right? I like to deviate from the class because it makes me think more. I don't like, so I'll give you an example, right? I have my wife learning video editing, right? And what I'll tell her is, all right, you can do the little project they give you with their videos, but the same thing that you do, take your own videos and make your own cool thing, because you have to make your learning meaningful to you. All right. You can follow along to get the concepts, right? But then you got to do your own project. You have to practice, and you do that through something that means something to you, right? So, for instance, when I was learning Python and learning about APIs and stuff like that, I went to a website which would give you access to all types of APIs, right? And a lot of them, they'll give you, like, you get free access for a certain amount, right? Every month they give you a certain amount of requests that you can make. And then if you need to make more, they have different plans you could use, right? So what I did was I found API about sports, and then I created like this little website thing where it would be pulling in the basketball scores, the basketball standings, the upcoming games. And it was really cool, right? But that made me, now I'm really good at using the API, like API calls in Python. And at the time, I was pretty good like using Flask in Python, but I haven't really done much of the web development part lately since like I was learning the class. But I can easily go back to it and pick it up and then go from there. So when you're learning something, find something that makes that learning meaningful to you. Don't just follow along and all that good stuff, right? Make it meaningful to you. Make it something that you care about. So if you're learning how to, like, let's say you're learning automation and you care about like pets, like dogs or something like that, right? Go automate something that's related. Like maybe go to chewy.com, right? And automate those flows because it's something that interests you. What is something that you use all the time, right? Go and automate that and get familiar with it, because and then maybe that can help you, right? So take that into consideration when you're learning. Make your learning meaningful, make it relatable to you, okay? There is still hope. Eclipse Anonymous. Hi, my name is insert name here, and I'm an Eclipse user. Hi, insert name here. Results listener, thanks for that. LOL, very, very funny. And Don says, you are smart. Your brain rejects bad ideas. So it would make sense you can't commit JMeter to memory. All right, and then Don says it's a parent-child type deal nested. And I like the alert framework. So about the alert framework, right? I like it too. That was, I implemented that framework, sampling it out. Maybe it was like 10 years ago or something like that. It was a long time ago. And it created some nice information, some nice reports. And I'm pretty, like, I haven't used it in a while, right? Because it's just the infrastructure behind it. But it was, the only thing, I don't remember, they might have.
On, back to work, chop, chop, let's go. Come on, get a move on. You're back to work, back to work, back to work.
Well, that was rude. But the alert framework, right? I like it. I haven't used it in a while though. One of the issues that I had like with some of these frameworks were like the reporting frameworks is that they didn't. It was hard to aggregate them, right? Like extent reports. Like you could aggregate it somehow, but you need to like buy the license one or something like that. But I like the lure. I don't remember if you could aggregate the results. You might be able to do it now. The reason I was asking about Report Portal is because I sampled that a few times, right? But I like it because of it's interactive, right? Interactive in the sense that so like you have users who can log into it, and then you can it can start learning some of your test failures. And then like it uses like machine learning and AI and stuff like that, where it can tell you, all right, this one, like these 5 failing tests, they're they're probably grouped together because like the errors that it's getting is very similar. You need to review this one to assign it to a category of if it's an automation issue, if it's an actual bug, all that good stuff. So I like it, but it's really heavy though. Like like trying to install it via Docker on your local machine is hard because unless you have a really powerful machine. But I've like even like on AWS, you need a pretty strong instance to be able to install it. Um, so that's like one of the things that annoys me about it. Because like if you're running it, it can be very expensive. But it's a very like but I like it, so I'll get the instance and I'll play around with it and then I'll shut it down. So that's why I was asking about the report portal framework. And with through Docker, it's so fast to install as well. And like it's very minimal configuration. Like one thing I did with it, like to integrate it into a framework in Python, I just overrode some of the methods from the framework in the local project that I was working on, just so I can see it actually working. But and then like if we were actually going to implement it, then it would be so simple to add it to the framework where people can just pass in the parameters of where to send the information to. So yeah, I just wanted to this was seeing what you thought about it. And I'm guessing this is to the bugs. I like to see red. Am I evil? Well, quite possibly.
Message.
And red means we don't ship crap to the customer. I like red, but in hopes the turnaround is green real quick. Yeah, like don't get me wrong. Like finding bugs, it's that's pretty much part of our job, and because we need to protect the team like as much as we can from shipping out bad code that's gonna give a bad user experience and everything like that. I just like to try to do that work up front so we can so hopefully on like the first shot, maybe second shot, is this just like minimal bugs that we find? Because I've been on teams where like they say like the developers like we're done, and then the very second I go to use the application, I get a blank screen with a JavaScript error that the page can't load and all that good stuff, and it's like, oh, it's because of React. I'm like, well, no, it's because you didn't really do what you're supposed to do correctly, right? It's not because of React, because React is just a framework, just a tool. It's because you didn't test your work before sending it over to us. So, just trying to, like, I think what the goal should be for the entire software development team is getting a great product with a minimum amount of bugs to the client as quickly as possible. All right. So shout out to that. And then let me go to this one. Good guy says found a bug equals achievement. Find 10 bugs equals more achievements. And then you win the bug finding world championship. All right. So, and then a lot of comments this time. All right. So never be adversarial with to dev. With a good relationship, you can combat issues together and release. I'll tell you this, right? I've always tried to have the best relationship with my developers. And by doing that, right, they'll be willing to go above and beyond for you because they see that like you're not trying to fight, you're not trying all that good stuff, right? So it's like it's what's the point of fighting with the developer, right? Because now let's say you have an issue and you guys are trying to deploy and they just put it on the back burner because they're like because you're annoying, I say should always have a good relationship with everyone that you work with, like whether they like you or not. I don't care. Like my goal is releasing great software, making the customers happy, all that good stuff. So I'm gonna navigate and I'm gonna make it work. All right. We'll pick up the rest of the comments after our next break because it's already 8:45 over here on the East Coast. So let's go to Deuce's JMeter. All right, and we'll put 20 minutes on the clock for that. And with 20 minutes on the clock, we're gonna look over it and see what we can do. And if it takes less than 20 minutes, right, then we will go to K6 and see what K6 is all about. All right. And if we don't finish K6, if we don't really get to K6 today, because I do have to call Stephanie and I can't keep her waiting all night. All right. So let's get to Deuce's JMeter, because to me, Deuce's JMeter is more important because that is the untested creation of my good friend Don. All right. And maybe we are going to see how good his untested code is. I think it's going to be great, to be honest with you. But let's find out. All right. So let's do this. Let's go to this screen. And
Let's go! Let's go!
all right. So it says, this is JMeter. Why bring the drama when you can keep it simple? Already. Hello, lovely human, robot, hybrid alien. Welcome to the one and only, the simpler, the more efficient, and infinitely sassier alternative to JMeter, Deuce's JMeter. See, it could have been JMeter Deuce to be like JMeter 2, but no, it's Deuce's JMeter. Like, get out of here. All right. So why Deuce's JMeter? Ever been on a date where the other friend? This is already getting good. All right, I have to read my. I have to put my dramatic voice on. All right. So, and my shock button. All right. Ever been on a date where the other person just won't stop talking? That's JMeter for you. But with our beloved Deuce's JMeter, you get all the info you need without the unnecessary babble. Here are a few reasons why our tool rocks. Easy on the eyes, unlike some tools that shall not be named. Cough. Oh, sorry. Well, see, I'll be a back. I'm like Ron Burgundy, right? I'm just reading the teleprompter instead. All right, so let's try that again. Easy on the eyes, unlike some tools that shall not be named. JMeter. Deuce's JMeter doesn't overwhelm you with a gazillion options. We know what you need, and that's exactly what we offer. All play, no work. If you enjoy clicking through countless options and drowning in documentation before running a simple load test, sorry, this isn't for you. Deuce's JMeter is all about results, quick and fast. Lightweight champion. That would be me, featherweight champion. That's my category. Or light feather, actually. Light feather. So yeah. Anyways. Lightweight champion. Remember, the last time you waited for that heavy software to load? Yeah, we don't either, because we're fast like that. So the installation instructions, no magic tricks, no secret handshakes, just plain old Python goodness. Nice.
Please offer me your energy. I ask of you, please.
All right. So let's continue. All right. So what we're going to have to do, we're going to clone the repo. All right. So I'm going to open up PyCharm. We're going to clone the repo. Like I said, I'm going to open up PyCharm, not VS Code for my VS Codians in there. I'm going to open up PyCharm. I'm going to clone the repo. I'm going to go into the Deuce's JMeter. We are going to set up I gotta create another one. Let's set up a virtual environment, optional but recommended. We're going to install the requirements. And then import our awesomeness class, create a load tester object, run tests like simple test, stress test, and others. Save the results to wherever your heart desires. You know what'd be cool? Save it to like a Google Sheet, and then to make whoever cares about that information have access to it. So make it a shared sheet to whoever that person is. or that group is or whatever, and then they can just access it whenever they want. Anyways, all right, in your diaries, if that's your jam, I like it in my diary too. And voila, sit back, relax, and watch Deuces JMeter take the stage. All right, nice. So next time you're in a meeting and someone suggests using that old JMeter tool, just raise your hand and introduce them to Deuces JMeter. Mic drop moment, freaking teed. Remember, life's too short for complicated tools. Keep it simple. Keep it deuces. Don, let me know if I did a good job reading the script. And if so, I will make a video for it, advertising it on all platforms. And hopefully that advertisement will blow up and we will become rich off of Deuces JMeter. All right. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right. You know what? So let's do this publicly, right? Let's do this publicly. We are going to go like this and we're going to go. Goodbye, JMeter. All right, so let's get rid of this stuff too. And let me open up PyCharm. Are you guys having a good time tonight? I'm curious to know. Because I'm having an amazing time tonight. We are doing some amazing things. We're doing loads. Like we're about to use Deuces JMeter. Like with a name like that, you can't go wrong, right? So I am going to create a new project, and we're gonna go swing that over here, and we're gonna go to, let's call that TCR Deuces JMeter live stream. And so PyCharm already creates the virtual environment for you, so we do not need to necessarily do that. All right, so let's go here. All right, and let's do a little drum roll. All right, so first things first, let's open up our terminal over here, and we are going to go here, and according to the instructions, we are going to copy this into, we're going to clone this, right? Go back to this screen. Oh, I forgot. I wanted to, I got to see if it's possible that when I click on a particular screen, I don't know if I like that. Maybe when I click on a particular screen, it switches to that screen instead of like having to always remember to switch back and forth. Just to click does it. I don't know if that's possible. I'm sure it is. All right, so we're going to clone. We're cloned. And then, let me see. CD Deuces JMeter. And now, go back to the instructions. We're up to here. We did this. And we are already in a VNV environment. I don't think we need to do that. So next things up is we're going to do pip install -r and then the requirements. So what it's going to do, it's going to install these requirements files here. All right, so let's do it. So let's type it out. Pip install -r requirements. And I'm going to do all that cool stuff. And we should upgrade our pip version, but it is what it is for now. And now if we go back over here. So how to use. Import our awesome class, create a load tester object. And then run simple test, stress test, and others. So let's just look at the code real quick, right? So load tester object. And let's see. Let me scroll down in case. Stephanie, no, we are not moving your code review next time. That is the highlight of my night tonight. So if we don't get to K6, I'm okay with that. I'd rather do the code review. All right? All right. Shout out to Randy in the chat. What's up, Randy? What's up, Randy? All right. So let's see. Simple test. So this works. You run simple tests. You pass in a URL to it, and iterations 1. Oh, thank you.
Thank you for your patronage.
All right. So I'm looking. So what I'm doing is I'm looking at the deuces.py code, that py code, and so we have a function sanitize URL, which when you pass in the URL, and then make a request, results, and then simple test, stress test, where you can thread pool. Okay. Spike test, save to CSV, save to SQLite, test URL example.com. Well, why not find out what's going on? So let's do this. All right. So let's do. Let me just run. Let's just run. Wait, no. What am I doing? So let's play. Let me know if I'm doing something wrong, Don. But let's do this. Play. See what happens. And something gets written out here. Okay, let's see what this is. So there goes our CSV file for. Okay. So if you just play it, it's gonna do that. It's gonna do this. The main function here, right? So let me see. So now, and this is run tests like simple tests and others. All right. So that's cool. So would you just put like the URL of the test that you want to run in here? And is that all? You just put like the URL of which. So where would you run? Let me see. Where would you define what type of test you want to run? Test URL, tester, load tester. Let me see what's in here. So load tester class, and then let me see. All right. So this all right. So this is the CSV file. This is the file for that. Like if you want it to a database, and then like I was saying earlier about the writing it to a like let's say to a Google Sheet. You just have to do the integration with Google developer, Google Cloud platforms, like the developer stuff, and you can create your keys for that, all that good stuff, and then yeah, then you can like say like how you want it to write it to whatever file you want it to write it to. So like you can add like to this, right? So and that's really cool because I like when possible to write to external places where you don't have to go into the code to find it. So but yeah, like and with this one you can have it even like write it to a database as well if you wanted to. So it just depends how you want to make your data available. I think that would be a discussion that you would have with during the implementation if you're using this for a load testing, which I like. I really like how fast this is and how like this is really cool, right? So what you could do is let's do the same thing, right? I'm not gonna use Uber Eats this time because I don't want to keep counting them. So let's say we go here, and then you could probably like, what would be the command? So we're here, and then we say, so let's change this to lyft.com maybe. So we have test URL, which is this. We have max users is 10, ramp up period is 10. And say, all right, so this, okay, so this one is saving to SQLite. This one is, so let me comment it out that. But so you could have like, let's say you're doing to the Google. So tester.simple test URL. Very cool. So so you can, so let's say I comment this out, right? So it won't write to the SQLite, right? It'll do CSV. So let's say we had the method for we could have like tester save to Google Sheet, right? And then test URL, right? So let's say we had a function for this implemented, right? And then you have your credentials somewhere secure, so you're not passing those credentials. But then you can definitely have where it'll save to the Google Sheet. Then you go to open your Google Sheet, and then it'll have like all that in there, right? I think that's a very cool implementation. It's like saving it outside of the actual like code base, right? Then you could have let's see. So let's try something, right? So this is just like, I'm just sampling this, right? So let's say we have, let's see what ramp up test is. Ramp up test. Okay, ramp up is the stress test. And we have, so save to CSV is just going to do that. And let me see. You could have a method to write to X. Okay. So all right, so ramp up. Okay, so now let's do this. Let me look at the simple text. So if I want an endurance, so many. All right, so it's different type of this is cool. So there's different types of tests that you can run. So you can do a ramp up test, you could do an endurance test, you can do the spike test, you can do the stress test, the simple test, right? So if we go, so and the parameters for that is the URL, and we can pass in the iteration. So let's try that one, right? So and then I'm gonna have an idea after that, right? So let's say we comment this one out and we do tester.stress test. All right, okay, so tester, then you're loading in the load tester, and then we have tester.stress test, and we have the test URL. And let's say we have the iterations. So what I would do is, right here. No, where is it? Right here. So iteration int. So let's go with like 10, I guess, right? And now we can run that, have it saved to CSV. Let's give that a whirl. And here we go. Let's look at these results. And we have liftoff. Let me look at what this number in particular means. It should have been it should have been a 200, but let's see what that. So I'm guessing that's the status code. So for some reason, lift.com is giving us a 429. Let's try that with a different site. Why is it giving us that? whatever the reason may be. So let's go to, this is really cool. This is really, really, really cool. I don't even care to go to K6 right now because I love this, right? This is so cool. So that means, Stephanie, when you start that position, right? And they talk about load tests, say, and they say that they want to use the JMeter, right? We're gonna go and we're gonna do this, right? We're gonna go to here, and we're going to say, where did we say it? Next time you're in a meeting, all right? So you're in there, and it says, hey, we need to use JMeter to run that load test. Just raise your hand, right? Where's my hand? Raise your hand and say, hey, have you heard of the tool Deuces JMeter by Don Johnson? And they were like, Deuces JMeter? What's that? And you're going to say, Deuces JMeter. We're going to do this in Python. And guess what happens after?
Lunch break.
Guess what happens after that? After you go and you say, I'm not using JMeter. We're using Deuces. We're using Deuces JMeter. It's going to be
Money.
Yeah. Money.
Thank you for your patronage.
All right. So look at Don out here making us rich. Okay. So before I wrap this up, let's give some. So here's what I would do with this as well, right? I wish maybe I can, maybe I'm just not reading it correctly, right? But what I would do is please don't what? Please don't what? But anyways, what I would do is like be able to like turn it into like an application where I could pass in parameters for it. So which you might be able to do it, but maybe I'm just like reading it incorrectly, right? So I would say run Deuces, right? And have the URL, set the URL as a parameter saying, lift or whatever site, right? And then be able to pass the, so if I say run Deuces, right? And then the type of test that I want is a stress test on this URL with this many iterations, or say run the ramp up test. So it's like the way I would structure it, it would be, so let me just type it in here because it'll be easier to type in what I'm referring to. Where is it? So let's go with a text, right? And I want to do here, and I want to say, wish you could show what I was doing it, right? But so I would want to do like Deuces space. So I'm gonna write out what I'm typing, right? And then I'll show it on the screen. Oh, actually, you can see it, right? So let's say it's here, right? So I would do, let me see, where did that go? So I'll do like Deuces, and then I would say like simple, and then or something like this, right? Test or type equals simple, and then test, or maybe just URL equals www.lift.com, and then something like iteration equals 10, right? Something like that. And then based on like the type of test you're running, you can pass the parameters that way, right? Hopefully you can. Oh, it's kind of. Let me make it smaller, but let me save that, and then let me make it smaller. Let's see. They're gonna show. Let me move this so you can see what I'm saying. So a command like this, right, where it's like it's a program, because like you can like which I don't know, maybe I like you can already do it, but I would like, so I can take it and then I can say, all right, run this program, run this application, and the type of test that I want is a simple test with on this URL and an iteration of 10, right? So I can just run it, and then that way somebody can get it and they can just run a load test by passing that command, and it's totally like you don't have to go necessarily into the code and make the modifications and stuff like that. You can just do it that way. So yeah, like some let me make this bigger. Right. Yeah, like kind of like the CLI, right? So like it's like a little application that you don't necessarily have to go into the code and do the update for it. You can just launch it, give it a name of like deuces or whatever, and you just pass in the parameters that you want it to run on, and it goes from there, right? Just like it works great the way that it is. Just a thought of like how you can make it like a kind of like a standalone application in Python, and then it'll generate the report and drop it somewhere for you. Or you can say like you can pass a parameter where you want the report to be saved to, or the type of report that you want, whatever the case may be, right? Just some ideas, just like off the top of my head of just random thoughts, right? Anyways, anyways. All right. Let's get to I'm going to read the comments, finish up the comments, and then I am going to call my friend Stephanie. Okay? So let's see here. All right. So where we left off was a proxy filter for edge testing. So that was when we were talking about JMeter, and BlazeMeter does that regional load testing. It's not free though. Yep. I have not used BlazeMeter, but I've heard about it, and I think let me pull up their website real quick. I think they're like located super local to me. BlazeMeter. Let me see. Maybe not. I'm thinking about a different company. But there's this company that's like right down the street from me. But I don't think it's them actually. All right. Not sure. I don't know what that beep was. But anyways, all right. So let's keep going. All right. So Don said we could write some Terraform to create the node and execute the JMeter or Deuces JMeter and collect timings, build a report based on results. So interesting you said that, because I think the Deuces JMeter would be an excellent script to execute in like multiple AWS environments, like in different regions. Like we can have it like in Europe, you can have it in like EU West, US East 1, which is probably like one of the most common ones that I've seen used. You can have it in like in the West Coast. Like there's like regions all over the place. So you can have it like US 1A, US 1B, and then like let's say you just create those, maybe a couple of instances in each environment in each region, and then you use the Deuces JMeter to hit like whatever application you're using to make sure that it's what kind of speed that you're getting, right? So, and then you can even like save the files, the CSV files, based on the name of the region, or put them in a Google sheet based on the region and all that good stuff. And then you can see like what kind of response time that you're getting from this region, what kind of response time you're getting from that region. Just like I said, this is just a small sample of the way that I think, and like ask Randy, right? Ask Randy, ask Stephanie, like I just come up with stuff with strategies to help them like just accelerate their growth, right? So that's enough. I'm not giving you any more, right? So let's see what else. Don says, or get real fancy and use a message broker to send test payloads to the nodes. Each node could store the values in a central data store. When you say like a message broker like Rabbit MQ, or like the SQS from Amazon, one of those type of message brokers, is that what you're referring to? What the report tool called? It's called Report Portal, right? I did a video on it a few months, maybe last month. And yeah, it's very cool. Like it's super easy to set up too. So with your skill and acumen, Don, like I'll definitely check it out, see how you like it, and see all the cool things that it could do. But yeah, definitely check it out. And no, we are doing that tonight. All right. So don't go to sleep yet, Stephanie. I'm gonna call you just in a few minutes. Like, hold on. All right, hold on. All right. Stephanie, I'm Ron Burgundy. And shout out to Randy, Miss Randy. All right. So shout out to Miss Randy. Thank you so much for being here. Always showing support. Thank you so much. And then Don was answering some questions about juices, which awesome questions. All right. And so I already addressed those. You could, all right, let's see. 429. So 429 means too many requests. All right. So that's why we're seeing 429 in the CSV file, because Lyft does not like us sending all those requests. And yes, Stephanie, you definitely mic drop after you say deuces. Deuces, JMeter. So shout out to that. And just tell them you can write your own based off this example. Yeah, that's true. Like, you just call it something else. And we all win together. All right. Shut up. If you don't listen to me, listen to Miss Randy.
Message.
Join the Patreon and come level up with us. All right. We're going to the moon. We are winning. Right. And like DJ Khaled says, I have to get the soundbite. Either you win with us or you watch us win. And I know for a fact that Miss Randy is certainly winning. All right. So, and that comes to the end of our comments. So let me see. Next up, what time is it? 9:15. Yeah, we are going to call. Before we do that, all right. So I'm going to create the CLI. I will rewrite in Go and make it more portable. Calling it ralph.exe. The only problem with ralph.exe is on a Mac, I'm not sure if I'll be able to execute it. So there's that. But if you're able to get it to run on the Mac, I will certainly be using it, right? And I will say, when there is a load test that needs to be run, say we must use the Ralph load test. All right. So shout out to that. Let me get Randy, or not Randy. Let me get Stephanie's repo up. All right. And I'm going to, let me go to repositories. And we are going to, nice. Safe. Thank you. Yeah, as soon as you get it, like I'll put it on the live stream and like, but so here's the thing, right? I know I'm supposed to be calling Stephanie. Just give me like 2 more minutes, all right? But I want to make this point, right? Look at the power of collaboration, right? Don, he subscribed to the channel maybe a week and a half ago. And he has been so supportive, right?
We the best. I appreciate you.
Like so supportive and like sending me these challenges. Like we had a conversation the other day and we were just like, and it's like all the information that he's sending me, right? I can see like the mindset, like we're so much alike, right? But the thing is that I want to emphasize is that look at how like we're able to collaborate on a live stream right now, right? And then I used it and it's amazing. And I'm like, oh, a cool idea is if we could use it like this and make it like a little application and stuff. It's like I'm on it, right? And now we've developed developed software that can help tons and tons of people. People who are struggling through JMeter like me right here, right? And they they try this tool out and they're like, oh cool, now I can get the information, because guess what? I care more about the data than the tool, right? So if a simple tool, I just pass in the URL and I pass in the amount of threads that I want or whatever it is, and I can get the results that I need. I'm like, all right, here are the results, right? And then if it's in a CSV, you can so Randy, I hope you're still here, right? I hope you're still here, because now let's say it's in a CSV, right? And although I know you're not at this point yet in the class, right? But let's say it's a CSV, and then you can use your Python knowledge that you're acquiring to pull that into like, let's say Jupyter notebooks, and you can start creating graphs based on the load test results and all that stuff, custom information, which then you can take that and then you can go into like doing some analysis and machine learning and recommendations, all that cool stuff. All right, that is way too much information. I should not be having this conversation with Randy on the live stream, with Miss Randy on the live stream. I just want to forget everything that I just said. All right, this conversation will happen behind the Patreon. All right, so let's keep going real quick. Another one, right? Another one. All right. So shout out to Melissa for Patreon gang. All right. She says, hello, Tech Coach Ralph. Apache JMeter and Grafana Labs K6 are related, or they are very different to each other. So they're two totally different softwares, but they do the same thing. They do performance testing, load testing to see like if your application can handle the amount of load, right? So which just reminded me based on that question. So with the Deuces JMeter, it looks like right now it's more geared towards like testing a website, while JMeter has like a bunch of other stuff that it can test, which we could always like add more features to testing it, you know. So yeah, so let me text my buddy real quick to see. All right, let me, and of course, good guy, there is no I in team, but there is a me. All right. And oh, okay. Randy says, I am following you. In class, we use Jupyter and pulled a CSV from Google Docs, wrangling. When I first spoke to Randy, so quick story, like Randy and I were supposed to meet like maybe a week later, and then we were talking, talking email. I'm like, you know what? Schedule a call early. Let's talk now. And then so we had a call, and she was telling me like what she was thinking about doing and everything. I was like, let's adjust this way. And you know what? Let's learn this stuff. We're gonna learn it together. We're gonna win. And like she's just taken off to the moon. I'm so proud of Randy. I'm so proud of Stephanie. So proud of Melissa. I'm proud of Good Guy. I love working with Don. Like this is so exciting. I love it. I love it. All right, let me get, all right, there goes the repo. Okay, and all right, got the repo up. And let me go to, let me call my friend Stephanie. Hopefully this works.
Hello.
Hey, Stephanie, how's it going?
All right.
All right. So, I gave you a little project to work on, right?
Yes.
And so I said like, hey, let's talk about it on the live stream, so you can like walk us through some of the stuff that you did. But before we do that, right, I just wanted to ask you a couple of questions so they can know like you're just not like a AI bot that I created, and I'm talking to an AI bot, right? So let me see.
Yep.
Let me see. Where is it? All right. Where is my question? So the question was, right. So how did we meet?
Yeah, so I had actually reached out to you on Reddit. I was really struggling to get any interviews at all. I had submitted several applications, and I knew it was my resume. So I was looking for just some guidance, and you kindly responded. It took me some courage to finally reach out, but I'm so glad I did. You were like, toss me your resume, I'll take a peek at it. And I think once I got your feedback, my exact words were like, okay, you're awesome, let's do this.
All right. And then from like, since we've been working together, right? Is it
Yep.
what you expected, more than you expected, or less than you expected?
It's been incredible. It's been a lot more. I literally have full access to, pretty much like what you said earlier, full access to your brain. Whether it's you reaching out to me with ideas, or me, like I said, in the chat earlier, I had, a couple interviews today, and literally throughout the day, I was reaching out, asking you your thoughts on things as I was kind of gathering ideas to bring up, and you gave me ideas to bring up. And so it's really been incredible.
Right. Last question before we get into your code review, right?
Yep.
What has been the most valuable part of me working with you?
I've noticed a change in myself. I've gotten a lot more confident since you and I started working together. I think it's really been impacting my mindset a lot more than, definitely the technical skills are there. You're helping me with that. But it's been a whole change in my mindset. And again, I have something to show for it. Today was crazy with, talking to, interviews and all of that. So.
Awesome. I'm so happy to hear that. And I love working with you. All right. So let's get to work, right? So enough sentimental stuff. Let's get to work, right? So
Yep.
All right. So I'm gonna pull up your code on my screen, but you probably want to put it up on yours too, because you just tell me where to go. And because like with the delay, if you're looking at a YouTube, it won't make any sense. So you just put it up on your screen. Tell me where to navigate to. Let me share the screen. Right. And all right, I got it up on my screen, right? So let me get rid of this thing.
Perfect.
Right.
And you have it on Eclipse, right? Just kidding.
Funny. So I have it up in GitHub.
All right, cool. Okay, yeah, so I think there is a delay, but just yell at me or talk in the chat if you need me to stop. But I just want to give like a high level overview. The challenge was to take the existing tests that you had written out on, I believe it was a live stream, and refactor the code to incorporate page object modeling. It's a principle that I have been just kind of recently reading about and practicing. So this was a good exercise for me to kind of try to do it on my own without following anything along. So yeah. So
let me stop you for a second.
Sure.
I just want to show the way that the code was, and so I can show, then we can show the way that you did it, right? So if I go to here, so right now I'm going to my own branch, right? I'm going to my own branch, and let me see, code, and I go, so this is the main thing that I asked Stephanie to refactor, right? So this is a test in Java, and I have, it is in here, right? So the purpose of this particular live stream was just so I can get the, just to use the data provider in TestNG, right? Which it was just like 2 lines where I'm filling out a basketball form on was it like I created a basketball form for like registering your kids on my website to use that as an example. But because I didn't want to waste time like doing the whole page object model, I just had everything straight coded in the test, right? So not the right way to do automation. Like it's fine to learn it that way, but like you would not be able to get away. Like if I was interviewing you and this is what you provided me, I'd be like, all right, next, we're not doing this, right? So the ask was to refactor this into a page object model, right? Which is similar to like, it's funny because the day that I asked you to do this, Don sent me a similar challenge about refactoring into, I forgot which language it was in, right? But it was like to refactor. So I was laughing because, okay, this is like the same exact challenge that I asked you to do, right? So now with that context, I'm going to go back to your repo and take it away. You can tell me where to navigate to.
All right, cool. Well, yeah, that was a good start because that's where I started, obviously. And I took that, that one page of code and I started by abstracting out those UI elements. So the form itself is just as a standard HTML form where there's, a first name field, last name field, a lot of text fields. And so I took those locators. I started by creating a class for the page, right? Because that's what page object modeling is based around. So I created, you can go into, sorry, I wasn't even looking at the screen. You can go into the source folder and.
I'm in there.
Oh, okay. I think, yeah, it's super delayed. I don't have it open because I was scared it was going to delay it more, but I'm sure you know where to find it. It's standard architecture. Let's see.
You want me to go into the POM folder, pages folder?
Yes, please.
All right, got it. I'm in there and go into the registration form page.
Yep.
All right, cool. I'm there.
So I created this class, put all of the elements in there, made the locators into variables at the top, created methods at the bottom to do the actions of what we wanted it to do, which was essentially, click in the field, enter the text. And then I also abstracted out the before and after tests. I know I'm like zooming through and jumping around, but, and I put those into, I put those into base tests, but you can see I extended the base page. So base page had like some of the common code that I would assume if this was a full application would be in the other page objects as well. So I wanted to pull those out, keep those separate. That I ended up deleting later. I should have pushed those changes up, but so yeah.
So base page, you have base page and base test. So let's take a look at what's inside a base page. So you have the set driver and here, and then you have base test where you have, and here the base URL. So before class, you're using the WebDriver manager, and then before method, you are setting up your Chrome driver.
There is one thing that I recognized after, we had kind of talked about that I was done with this, so I was like, I'll just leave it. But there's something I would have done different going forward that I can mention when the time comes. But so that I was fighting with WebDriver, and so I was trying to find I was going on Stack Overflow, all these things, and you can see I have so many static methods that I did not really need to have all of that. And it's because when I found a solution that worked for me, it was based off of JUnit and not TestNG. And JUnit, I believe, automatically applies static methods. I'm going to stop talking because it's probably, I'm using the wrong terminology, but yeah, so I would I would refactor it a little bit from here, but it works,
Nice. So let me give you some feedback, right? First and foremost, I think you did an
Yes.
amazing job, right? Like
Thank you.
refactoring, or to like putting it in the page object model, right? I think that was a great job. So, but let me give you some feedback on the actual implementation, right? So
Yeah.
what I would say is, so for refactoring let me go in here first, right? So let me take a look at this one, right? So yeah, this is good, right? So I wasn't expecting this part, which like, cause I've never actually put it this way, but which is pretty cool. But I probably still would like put them, not chain them together just so I can kind of read it clearer. But I also never saw it like that, so I never thought to do it like that. But it worked, so that's cool. It is legible that way, but I just like to have everything like on its own line. But that's cool, right? But what I was going so let me go into here, right? Um, actually, before I do that, right? So I don't want you to mix up the page object model and the framework, right? Because to me, this part right here is part of the framework, and this part is the page object model, right? And and this is correct, right? There's like there's nothing wrong with this. I would say though, in your next iteration of it, try to look into the page factory because it'll make it it'll simplify it for you, right? But this is like there's nothing wrong with this, right? But definitely like try to get it to the page factory where because in Java it's just a lot cleaner for like from my perspective because I've been using the page factory for like forever, right? And then you can do like your getters and your setters so you can be able to access it from outside, right? But we can talk about that, right? But that's like this is great. But I would definitely do the page factory, use the getters and the setters, and then you don't need to like okay. So this makes more sense. You're returning everything, and that's why you're able to chain it together. I don't know. I like it to be separate, so then I can see I have a line for where I'm doing this. I have a line where I'm doing that, and then what I would do as well is maybe not necessarily in this particular exercise, but let's say you're like doing a login, right? So let's say this is login page, and I would say so let's say we have ours for public enter username, and then you pass in so like enter first name, you pass in like so the username, and then you have another method for entering the password, like the same way you have the same way you have here where you have like enter first name, enter last name, right? Let's say that was username and password, and then you have one for clicking on the login button, right? So I would have each of those methods, right? And then I would create another method for login to website or login to my account.
Yep.
And then on the actual test class, right, I could just call login to my account, and then I can just pass in the username, pass in the password, and then so now on your test class, on your test class, you just have a login to my account, right? And you just pass in the parameters there. So you have a super, super clean test. And if you need to see like the underlying things behind it, you just log into it because you don't necessarily need on the test to say log into to like enter username, enter password. You don't need to have all those methods on there. You can just have one method that does all of that, and then you can do your assertions after that, you know? But yeah, so that's that's what I would do. But this is like I'm impressed by what you did based on the request that I asked you, you know?
Yeah, thank you. And yeah, I definitely did think about having the one method that would just be like, log in or like fill out form. So I totally get it. And I agree. And it helps with readability. And same with, I kind of was deciding if I was going to be, returning the page or, so I could do like the chaining and all of that, or if I should leave it as, registration form page dot enter first name and just have that repetitive. So I kind of decided against that. But yeah, definitely. I appreciate the feedback.
Yeah, and like for this particular, like for this, I wouldn't have done one method for it because it just makes it kind of hard to like let's say you add another field to the form, right? Then that becomes a bit it becomes a bit difficult if you need to enter that into the test that use it. So the way that you did it, like it's fine. And like with the way that you have it here, you could even do like where you have registration form dot enter first name, and then you just have another one registration form dot enter last name if you wanted. So there's nothing wrong with it. Just but at the same time you could just do enter first name, enter last name, or so there's many different ways to do it. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. And I learned something new as well. So I think that it's great job all around. So
Awesome.
so for you, you get a. I don't know if you can hear it on the end, but that was awesome. So.
Yeah, I can. Thank you so much.
All right. So before I let you go, is there anything else you want to say to the audience?
No, this was super fun though. I love this group, and thank you, Don. Thank you for saying all of those nice things.
Oh, you can see it. Yeah, he says. So let me pull this up. Right. So let me go back to full screen. We are done with the share, and I'm gonna pull this up while I have you here because we want to show you love and share your flowers with you while you're here. So, Miss Randy says says Stephanie, she has roses, hearts, all that good stuff because she says you are amazing and she is impressed by the work that you're doing. And
Yay.
Dawn says, Stephanie, you're awesome. I will follow you on GitHub. Yes, follow Stephanie on GitHub.
Awesome. Ditto.
And like we're putting stuff up there, and we are showing her work. And Don also says you're hired, right? So
Perfect. We're calling the job search off.
yes. When does she start? All right. And Don also says clear naming conventions. Good job. So one more time.
Awesome.
We the
Thank you.
best.
Really appreciate that.
One more time. You know what? I'm gonna give you one of that.
Thank you so much. I was so nervous. This was a lot of fun though.
Yes, I really appreciate you coming on. I appreciate, like I told you before, I appreciate you reaching out to me. I think like as much value that you said that you're getting out of me working with me, I think I might get more value being able to work with you. So that's, and that's
I got that, but thank you.
That's what you get from, working with me. If you join the Patreon and we get to work together, that's what you get,
Yep.
So just putting it out there, you have another person who is giving you, now a live testimonial. Last time we had you had Kanti who was saying, if it wasn't for him, if it wasn't for working with me, he doesn't think he would have got the job. And now you have Stephanie, like all the work that we're doing, right? So check it out. All right, Stephanie, it was great talking to you. I will talk to you tomorrow. I am going to let you go.
Thanks again.
All right. Have
Bye-bye.
a good night. Well, there you have it, folks. What do you think about? Before we go, let's give Stephanie another round of applause, all right? Because she is amazing. She was brave enough to come onto the call, show her work, show her code, so shout out to that.
We the best.
All right. So, are you not entertained? Are you not well educated? Are you not well informed? What do we do here, right? What do we do here? All we do is win. See? Everyone that I come in contact with, I try to help them, make them better. All right? And I am not going to miss this right here. Reddit gang. Reddit gang. All right? So, yes, Stephanie. I'm going to make this bigger because you are. Yes, right here. I'm going to leave this on for the rest of the stream because you are amazing and you are doing great work. And we are going to show that to everyone. All right. Everyone is going to know how great that you are. All right. So, with that being said, friends, family, associates, comrades, enemies, haters, whatever the case may be, the time has come to end the show. we did not get to K6 tonight, but we got to Deuces JMeter, and that is an amazing. Like, I'm impressed by it because you guys saw me struggling through K6, or not K6. You saw me struggling through JMeter. We pulled up Deuces JMeter, and it was like we were just figured it out like that. Super simple. Got the information we needed, all that good stuff, right? So just putting it out there, you know, be innovative, be creative, be awesome. All right. So if you haven't, do I even need to say this? If you haven't liked the show yet, like the show. Like, I gave you so much tonight. I presented my dear friend Stephanie so she could show you what she's working on, what we're working on, you know. Gave you too much information about what me and Randy are working on, right? Because Randy is amazing. She's working hard, like every day, like showing me, like she's sending me like what she's working on, and I'm like, I'm impressed. Can't wait to hear more. All right. So, you know, wait, emoji battle. All right, that's what I'm talking about. But I gotta go. Right. So if you haven't done so yet, like the show, share it with somebody who's gonna find it useful. You know, maybe somebody wants to get in tech. Maybe they want to get better. You know, you have the link to the Patreon right there. Right. Come and win with us. You know, even at the lowest tier, tons and tons of information being presented. Right. So with that being said, if you haven't done so yet, subscribe to the channel. Like, if not, you're gonna miss out. You are definitely gonna miss out because you see the amazing work that Stephanie's doing. You've heard her testimony on how I work closely with her to help her get to wherever she wants to go. Right? Strategize, everything. Her confidence is skyrocketing, and I can see it. Right? I can see her like I can see it in real time, skyrocketing. Right? So that's what it is. Right? So subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, join the Patreon, like the video, all that good stuff, all right? So I appreciate all of you guys for being here. I appreciate the newest subscribers. Appreciate Stephanie. Let's do it like this. I appreciate Stephanie. I appreciate Randy. I appreciate Don. I appreciate Good Guy. Where's my... I appreciate Melissa. All of you guys, all right? You guys are the best, okay? You guys are the best. We are going to win. Or not. Oh, it's off. Huh? There that goes. We are going to win.
We the best.
All right. But the time has come where I must depart. All right. So until next time, Sunday, Terraform. Be there. Okay? Got it? All right. So we are out. Have a wonderful, wonderful night, my friends, my family. Until next time.
You might think that getting into the IT field is impossible without a computer science degree, but Tech Coach Ralph is here to prove you wrong. Get ready for some jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into this lucrative industry. Listen up, tech enthusiasts! Are you ready to break through into the IT field, but feel like you need a computer science degree to make it happen? Think again! Tech Coach Ralph has some exclusive, mind-blowing secrets to share with you. Get ready to be blown away by his jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into the tech industry without a computer science degree. So get your notepad ready, because Tech Coach Ralph is going to change your life forever. Buckle up, because you're about to embark on a journey to success in the IT field.
Hear me, warriors of the North. Today we have tasted the sweet nectar of victory. Our foes indeed defeated, and their lands are now bow before us. The gods themselves have favored our glorious deeds on this glorious day. We have shed blood, sweat, and tears to claim this land. Our relentless spirit, our unyielding determination. These are the very essence of our people. has been our ancestors rejoice in the halls of Valhalla. For today, we have added to their eternal glory. Our victories will echo throughout the ages, and our names will be etched in the annals of history. But let us not forget the price we paid, the brothers and sisters we lost. They now feast in the hall of our forefathers, watching over us with pride. Their sacrifice has paved the way for this moment of triumph. Having celebrated this conquest, let us also remember that our journey is far from over. More land awaits our conquest, more battles upon us forth. And the fire in our hearts burn ever brighter, for there is no limit to what we can achieve. To those who dare stand against us, let them tremble in fear, for they shall witness the fury of the northern storm, the wrath of the untamed barbarians. Today we celebrate our victory. Tomorrow we set our sights on new horizons, uncharted land where our banners will fly high. We are Vikings, we're barbarians, we are masters of conquest.
We the best. I appreciate you.